Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome to today's reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, verse number 103. We will start from Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhete Girim Yat Kripa Tamham Vande Shri Gurum Din Tarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. Se Yai Gramera Lok Vaishnav Karaya Anya Grami Asi Tandre Dekhi Vaishnav Haya. When each of these newly empowered individuals returned to his own village, he also converted the villagers into devotees. And when others came from different villages to see him, they were also converted. Verse 104. Se yai ar grame kare upadesh, e mata Vaishnav haila sab dakshina desh. In this way, as empowered men went from one village to another, all the people of South India became devotees. Verse 105. E mata pathe yaite shata shata jana Vaishnav karena tanre kari alingana. Thus many hundreds of people became Vaishnavas when they passed the Lord on the way and were embraced by him. Verse 106. Yai grame rahi bhiksha karena yanra gare, sei gramera yata log aise dekhi bare. In whatever village Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed to accept alms, many people came to see him. Verse 107. Prabhura kripai haya mahabhagavata sai saba acharya hena tarila jagat. By the mercy of the Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone became a first-class devotee. Later they became teachers or spiritual masters and liberated the entire world. Verse 108. E mata kaila yavat gela setu bandhe sarva desha Vaishnav haila prabhura sambandhe. In this way, the Lord went to the extreme southern part of India and he converted all the provinces to Vaishnavism. Verse 109. Navadvipe yai shakti na kaila prakashe se shakti prakashe nistarila dakshin deshe. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not manifest his spiritual potencies at Navadvip, but he did manifest them in South India and liberated all the people there. Purport. At that time there were many smartas, the non-devotee followers of Vedic rituals, at the place of Navadvip, which was also the birthplace of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Followers of the Smriti Shastra are called smartas. Most of them are non-devotees and their main business is following the Brahmanical principles strictly. However, they are not enlightened in devotional service. In Navadvip, all the learned scholars are the followers of the Smriti Shastra, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not attempt to convert them. Therefore, the author has remarked that spiritual potency Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not manifest at Navadvip was by his grace manifested in South India. Thus, everyone there became a Vaishnava. By this, it is to be understood that people are really interested in preaching the favorable situation. If the candidates for conversion are too disturbing, a preacher may not attempt to spread Krishna consciousness amongst them. It is better to go where the situation is more favorable. This Krishna consciousness movement was first attempted in India, but the people of India, being absorbed in political thoughts, did not take it to it. They were entranced by the political leaders. We prefer therefore to come to the West following the order of our spiritual master, and by the grace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this movement is becoming successful. So, as we can hear, this is the purport by Prabhupada. Verses 710. प्रभु के ये भजे तारे तानरा कृपा है सै सबा लीला सत्य करी लय. Prabhu ke Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yea, anyone who bhaje worships Tare unto him Tandra of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Kripa, the mercy, Haya, there is, say, such person, A, Sabra, all these, lila, pastime, Satya, truth, Kari, accepting as Laya takes. Translation: Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's empowering of others can be understood by one who is actually a devotee of the Lord and who has received his mercy. Verse 111. Alaukika Lilaya Yar Na Haya Vishwas Iha Lok Paralok Tar Haya Nash. If one does not believe in the uncommon transcendental pastimes of the Lord, he is vanquished both in this world and in the next. Verse 112. Prathame Kahila Prabhura Ye Rupe Gamana Eimat Janiha Yavat Dakshin Brahmana. Whatever I have stated about the beginning of the Lord's tour should also be understood to hold for as long as the Lord toured South India. Verse 113. Mata yaite gela kurma sthane kurma dekhi kaila tanre stvana praname. When Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to the holy place known as Kurma Kshetra, he saw the deity and offered prayers and obeisances. Purport: Kurmasthan is a well-known place of pilgrimage. There is a temple there of Kurmadev in the Prapanna Amrita. It is said that Lord Jagannath took Sri Ramanujacharya from Jagannath Puri and one night threw him to Kurma Kshetra. Kurma Kshetra is situated on the line of the Southern Railway in India. One has to go to the railway station known as Sri Kakulam Road. From this station, one goes 8 miles to the east to reach the holy place known as Kurmachala. Those who speak the Telugu language consider this place very important. This statement is reported in the government's gazette known as Ganjam Manual. There is the deity of Kurmadev, and as above mentioned, Srila Ramanujacharya was thrown from Jagannath Puri to this place. At that time, he thought that the deity of Kurma was Lord Shiva's deity, therefore he was fasting there. Later, when he understood that Kurma Murti was another form of Lord Vishnu, he instituted very gorgeous worship of Lord Kurma. This statement is found in the Papannamrita, chapter 36. The holy place of Kurma Kshetra or Kurmasthan was actually re-established by Sripad Ramanujacharya under the influence of Lord Jagannath Dev at Jagannath Puri. Later, the temple came under the jurisdiction of the king of Vijayanagar. The deity was worshipped by the Vaishnavas of the Madhvacharya Sampradaya. In the temple, there were some inscriptions said to be written by Sri Narahari Tirtha, who was in the disciplic succession of Madhvacharya. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains those inscriptions as follows. First, Sri Purushottam Yati appeared as the instructor of many learned men. He was a very favorite devotee of Lord Vishnu. Second, his preaching was accepted throughout the world with great respect, and by his power he liberated many non-devotees with the strong reasons and logic. Third, he initiated Ananda Tirtha and converted many foolish men to accept sannyas and punished them with his rod. Okay, moving on to fourth one. All his writings and words are very potent. He gave people devotional service to Lord Vishnu so they could be elevated to liberation in the spiritual world. His instructions in devotional service were able to elevate many men to the lotus feet of the Lord. Number 6. Narhari Tirth was also initiated by him and became the ruler of Kalinga province. Narhari Tirth fought with the Shabaras who were Chandals or hunters, and they saved the temple of Kurba. Number 8, Narhari Tirth was very religious and powerful king, and in the Shaka era 1203, which is the month of Vishak, in the fortnight of the moon's waxing period of the day of Ekadashi, Narhari Tirth dedicated to the holy name of Yoganda Nrsimhadev. The temple he had constructed on his order. The tablet is dated that very day, corresponding with the Saturday, 29th March, 1281 AD. Verse 114, Prema Veshe Hasi Kandi Nitya Geet Kaila Dekhi Sarlokera Chitte Chamatkar Haila. While at this place, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in his usual ecstasy of love of Godhead and was laughing, crying, dancing and chanting. Everyone who saw him was astonished. Verse number 115, Ascharya Shuniya Lok Aila Dekhi Bare Prabhura Rupa. Ascharya Shuniya Lok Aila Dekhi Bare Prabhura Rupa Prema Dekhi Haila Chamatkare. After hearing these wonderful occurrences, everyone came to see him there. When they saw the beauty of the Lord and his ecstatic condition, they were all struck with wonder. Verse 116, Darshane Vaishnav Haila Bale Krishna Hari Prema Veshe Nache Lok Urdhvara Bahu Kari. Just by seeing the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone became a devotee. They began to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna and Hare. They began to chant Krishna and Hare and all the holy names. They were all immersed in a great ecstasy of love, and they began to dance, raise a toast, and raising their arms. Not raising a toast, raising their arms. Verse 117, Krishna Nam Lok Mukhe Shuni Aviram Say Lok Vaishnav Kaila Anya Sabagram. Always hearing them chant the holy names of Krishna, the residents of all other villages also became Krishna. Verse 118, Aimata Paramparaye Desha Vaishnav Haila Krishna Namamrita Vanyaye Desha Bhashila. By hearing the holy name of the Lord, that is Krishna, the entire country became Vaishnav. It was as if the nectar of the holy name overflooded the entire country. Verse 119, Keta Kshane Prabhu Yadi Bahya Prakashila Kurmera Sivak Bahu Sammana Kaila. After some time, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested his external consciousness, a priest of the Lord Kurma deity gave him various offerings. 120, Ye Grame Yai Tahan E Vyavahara Tune Vyavahara Eka Thani Kaila Na Kahiba Aya Paya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mode of preaching has already been explained, and I shall not repeat the explanation in which village and the Lord entered. I'll repeat that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mode of preaching has already been explained, and I shall not repeat the explanation. In whichever village the Lord entered, his behavior was same. Verse 121. Kurma name se grame vedika brahmana Bau Shraddha Bhakti Kaila Prabhur Nimantrana. In one village there was a Vedic Brahman named Kurma. He invited Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his home with great respect and devotion. Verse 122. Ghare ani Prabhura Kaila Pad Prakshalna Sahi Jai Jalavamsa Sahi Jai. Yeah, बिल्कुल ही सही जलावंशा Sahita Karila Bhakshana. This Brahman brought Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his home, washed his lotus feet, and with his family members drank that water. Verse 123. Anek prakar snehe bhiksha karaila Gosanira sheshanna savamshe. With great affection and respect, that Kurma Brahman made Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eat all kinds of food. After that, the remnants were shared by all members of the family. Verse 124. Ye Pad Padma Tumar Brahman Dhyan Kare Se Pad Padma Sakshat Aila Mor Ghare. The Brahman then began to pray, O my Lord, your lotus feet are meditated upon by Lord Brahma, and these very lotus feet The Brahman then began to cry, O my Lord, your lotus feet are meditated upon by the Lord Brahma, and these very lotus feet have come into my home. Verse 125. Mora bhagyera sima na hayaye kana aj moyuhat. Shila Khaya Haila Janma Kula Dhana. My dear Lord, there is no limit to my great fortune. It cannot be described. To my family, birth and riches have all been glorified. Verse 126. Kripa Kripa Prabhu More Yan Tuma Sange Sahite Na Pari Dukha Vishaya Tarange. The Brahman begged Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, my Lord, kindly show me favor and let me go with you. I no longer tolerate the waves of misery caused by materialistic life. This statement is applicable for everyone, regardless of how rich or prosperous one may be. Narottam Das Thakur has confirmed the statement, Samsara Vishanale Diva Nishi Hiyajale. Yet one has to, it is a fact that one may be very happy as far as rich is concerned, and one may be very opulent in every respect. Yet there is one, there is, where I am. It is a fact that one may be very happy as far as is concerned, and one may be very opulent in every respect. Yet one has to manage the vishyas to meet the demand of the body, and so many members end up so on it. One has so much trouble to minister others. Oh, sorry, I'll read one line more before that. One has to manage the vishyas to meet the demand of the body, and so many family members and subordinates. One has to take so much trouble to minister to others. Narottam Das Thakur says, therefore, praise Vishya. Narottam Das Thakur, therefore, praise Vishya Chadiya Kabe Shuddha Haive Mana. Thus, one must become free from the materialistic way of life, one has to merge himself in the ocean of transcendental bliss. In other words, one cannot relish transcendental bliss without being freed from the materialistic life. It appears that the Brahmana one has to merge himself in the ocean of transcendental bliss. In other words, one cannot relish transcendental bliss without being freed from the material. One has to merge himself in the ocean of transcendental bliss. In other words, one cannot relish transcendental bliss without being freed from the materialistic way of life. It appears that the Brahman named Kurma was materially very happy, for he expressed his family tradition as Janmakula Dhyana Dhana. Now being glorified, he wanted to leave all these material opulences. He wanted to travel with Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. According to the Vedic way of civilization, one should leave his family after 50 years of life and go to the forest. According to Vedic Vaishnavas civilization, one should leave his body soon after. He wanted to travel with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. According to Vedic civilization, or should leave his family after attaining 50 years of life and go to the leave the family after attaining 50 years and go to the forest of Vrindavan to devote the rest of his life to the service of the Lord. So we'll continue our reading from verse 127 of the 7th chapter of Madhya Lila from Chaitanya Charitamrita next time. Thank you for joining. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai.